Today in this video, we're gonna talk about COP28 meeting and we talk about the climate change impact in our society and in this Mother Earth. This is very important to understand the climate change. When we are really talking about climate change, we have to understand what climate change is all about. Recently, we are seeing like winters are not winters anymore. Recently, I have noticed like we do not need sweater in the month of November, but I remember when I was a child, there we needed a sweater in the month of October or somewhere. This is the impact of climate change. Summers are becoming more hotter and winter are becoming more drier. This is the perfect definition of climate change in the easy way. I wouldn't like to go with complicated answers of climate change definition to make you understand. This is all about climate change. As you could see in the headline that we had decided to talk about COP28 meeting, or we had decided to talk about something in this video. So we can also talk about like what is COP28 or what is climate change. This video is going to get lengthy a little bit, but I hope you would try to just manage your time because this video wouldn't be so much shorter for you, and it wouldn't be easy to understand for those people who really not looking for an advanced English video for climate change, but still you would manage by seeing the pictures or the editing of this video. So COP28 meeting is the meeting where world leaders are going to sit at the table, where they will talk about what is the circumstances, what would be the circumventions, and how they can really eradicate climate change problem from the world. Is it the first time that people are going to talk about climate change, world leaders are going to talk about climate change? Before I would jump into this question, I would love to tell you one very important point here, that this is not the first time that COP28 meeting is going to held in the place called UAE, the largest and the biggest oil exporter in the world, and one of the biggest and one of the largest grandiloquent oil exporter in this world. I think UAE is going to hold this, COP28 meeting in November 30th, I think, right? So 198 countries are going to get participated in this program COP28 meeting, where they will be talking about the effects of global warming, the other thing, and how they can eradicate this climate change problem from our society. But for your kind information, this is not the first time these world leaders have been talking about the eradication of climate change, mitigation of climate change. They had already talked about this topic in 2015. That's what we call like Paris Agreement. Paris Agreement was one of the biggest agreement that the world had ever witnessed when it comes to climate change, where the world leaders talk about how they are really gonna change or not exactly change, but they can hold, or they would put some efforts to hold the global warming by 1.5 degrees Celsius. But for the kind informations of every viewers, this years we have noticed and we have witnessed for the hottest year in the human history, and that the temperature was around 44 plus degrees Celsius in the many countries, including Indonesia, including the capital of India, Delhi, including Spain. And you have seen the massive wildfires in Canada and Spain, where I think millions of land had burned just by this high heat waves problem. Recently, study finds every year, and actually every day, not year, let's estimate this data just by per day. Per day, we lost approximately 1.5 million property from this world just by the heat waves. You can take the massive examples of the flood of Myanmar, which forced more than 1.5 million people to live in depression. Last 2 years ago, there was a flood in Pakistan, left 1.7 million people without humanitarian aid. There are many stuffs, and we have witnessed the New Zealand flood, we have witnessed the floods in African countries, and you would be shocked that Africa is having only just 1/3, or maybe not even 1/3 population in the world, but they are contributing only 1.few% carbon dioxide. But this region is the only one region in the world who is paying more than any another region when it comes to climate change. This is the reality of the developing countries. They are contributing less carbon dioxide, but they are paying more by the human lives. Why these things are happening? First of all, in Paris Agreement, they really agreed to deliver $100 billion in climate fund. But just for your kind information, this kind of money have not been delivered yet in the climate fund. All over the money that issued in the name of climate change, those money were issued as loan. So actually, all the developing countries were receiving this money as a loan, and after that, they would have to pay this money back to that country. This year, Cop28 meeting, China's President Xi Jinping, America's President Joe Biden, they both have decided to not join. I don't know what's the reason. Meanwhile, these are the two countries. Somehow they contribute more carbon dioxide than any other countries in this world. China is number one, and I think America, you can include America in number two position. So the fact is here, these two leaders are not going to join this COP28 meeting. UAE is the world's largest exporter of fossil fuel. They are going to conduct these things, and that's what is prompting the largest and massive, like climate protest around the world. London is struggling for a long time by this kind of, orange color, just stop oil protesters. They are saying to stop fossil fuel from this world. This year we have witnessed for the highest temperature we have ever seen in the human history, and we become the like the hottest year ever in the human history. Every year, recently study finds, every year European Union, means like every country from the Europe, all over the, means like all and every single country of Europe. From Europe, we lost more than 50k people per year just by the heat waves. You can't even imagine. Last year, the study finds 10,000 people died by climate change, and the massive reason was heart attack. Air pollution is also the massive problems. When this kind of industries, when these kind of factories will, inflate carbon dioxide or many bad products, items, or like air or the gases into our climate, that thing would really make ourselves very quite complicated. So these are the reasons that why they need to sit on the table. The sitting on the table is not the big thing. OECD report recently finds in upcoming days, by 2016, from 2026 to 2030, we will be requiring more than $2.6 trillion. Developing countries will be needing $2.6 trillion as the climate reparations. The question is here, will they really able to deliver this much item by 2026? Even this leader couldn't make 100 billion payment, $100 billion payment they couldn't make. I don't think so. They are really gonna make $2.6 trillion payments right here, right now. Recently, I think the economist of France, he also made a very good statement where he said like, we need to stop oversized vehicles in order to eradicate the climate change problems, eradicate the greenhouse emissions problem from the climate. So as the heat waves are increasing, and back then, I think last year the study found like by the end of 2080, 75% glaciers from the world will be gone. You can't even imagine. The sea level is increasing. That's why most of the countries are getting flooded. That's why most of the people are just completely, facing the gusty winds problem, downpour, heavy rain, terrestrial kind of damages, drought, torrid temperatures. That is the basic reason that we are facing this kind of problems in our climate. So we have to protect our climate. Protecting our climate is not a shameful act. We should come forward to completely protect our climate. If we cannot incipient the tree, if we cannot plant a tree, we are not having this right to destroy a tree. We can't really cut the tree, right? So save the tree, save our planet, save water. Understand, maybe millions of people, I don't exactly remember the data, but recently I have read millions of people in the world, they are not having a proper and clean accessibility of water. This is the reality of our culture. So just imagine how lucky you are that you are having a pure water. You should stop damaging our climate. We are also somehow responsible for that. We are using plastic bags. We are doing many things that is also contributing some kind of greenhouse gases in our climate. Our climate is becoming absolutely fireball, and it can explode anytime. And recently study finds at the end of the century, the temperature we were trying to hold, that was 1.5 degrees Celsius, would be increased by 3 degrees Celsius. And if this temperature would increase by 3 degrees Celsius, that means most of the homes will be converted into air conditioning. So that would be the biggest problem for this climate. And I think that's it today in this video. That's you need to know so far about the climate change or any issue. related to this topic. And I would be talking more about climate change and many problems in upcoming videos. Do not worry about that thing. This is the Sahil, so where you talk about something which can help you to be a fluent English speaker, and the most important thing, to be a knowledgeable person as well. And that's it today in this video, and I will take your leave now. Take care. Have a good day.